What would you sacrifice in pursuit of the truth, especially when that truth might burn down everything you once held sacred? If this is your first time encountering one of my stories, welcome. Thank you for being here. I invite you to share it with someone who values the unraveling of hidden realities as much as you do. Leave a comment. Tell me where you're reading from. I love knowing who's out there listening. Now, come closer. This story begins with a message. The phone vibrated quietly against Adrien's polished mahogany desk, its hum slicing through the stillness of his late-night office. His eyes, tired from combing through endless financial spreadsheets, lifted from his laptop, landing on the screen with mechanical habit. One message, no contact name, no previous conversation. Just a line as stark as it was haunting. Shadow Pines Pub. Last booth in the back. Be there now if you seek the truth. No flourish. No introduction. Just that. Adrien stared at it, his breath caught in that strange space between disbelief and curiosity. A scam, a prank, but something about its brutal simplicity grabbed him by the throat. If you seek the truth, those 5 words coiled in his gut, digging deeper by the second. A gut instinct twisted inside him. He knew this wasn't random. This was about her. About Elena. She had told him she'd be at her mother's place that night. Her voice, as always, had been calm, measured, nothing unusual. But now that moment replayed in his head with a different weight, like a thread being tugged loose from a lie. Without a word, Adrien stood. He grabbed his coat and keys, his mind already racing faster than the traffic he would soon tear through. The city's lights smeared across his windshield, like streaks of molten color, vivid but cold. He drove in silence, each turn guided not by direction, but by instinct. Shadow Pines, a place once full of warmth, birthday dinners, late-night drinks, clinking glasses and private glances across candlelit tables. It had been theirs. Now it felt like a graveyard. The glow from the pub's windows was soft and inviting, but Adrien knew better. Tonight, those lights illuminated betrayal. He parked a block away and slipped in through the side entrance. Staying to the shadows, the dimness hugged the walls. The booths etched with familiar wear. And then he saw her, Elena, sitting across from a man who oozed polished power. A tailored suit hugged his broad frame, a glinting luxury watch peeking from under his cuff. He didn't just look wealthy, he wore his influence like a second skin. His hand lay near Elena's, fingers brushing hers as they shared a laugh, soft, intimate. A laugh Adrien hadn't heard in months. Then came the kiss, her lips pressed to the stranger's, no hesitation. No mistaking it. Adrien didn't breathe. He didn't storm over. He didn't scream. He lifted his phone, snapped one photo, and walked out. Each step away from that booth felt like a mile. The chill night air stung his cheeks as he reached his car, heart jackhammering in his chest. Something made him glance back. Through the pub's foggy window, he locked eyes with the man, cold, unblinking, a knowing stare. Adrien felt it like a knife. The stranger leaned in, whispered something to Elena. Her smile vanished. She turned, searching the room frantically. She didn't see him, but Adrien had seen enough. This hadn't been a warning. It was bait. That message was a trap, and he had walked right into it. Back home, the house remained exactly as he had left it, immaculate. Familiar, wrong. Elena's favorite candle flickered gently in the corner, its lavender scent making Adrien's stomach turn. Everything looked the same, but nothing felt real. He sat in silence, his gaze locked on their wedding portrait. The phone buzzed again. A new message from Elena. Short, surgical. I'm seeking a divorce. All future contact will be through lawyers. No apology, no remorse, no explanation. Just cold detachment. As though years of love could be reduced to a few impersonal sentences. Adrien didn't respond. He didn't scream or cry. He didn't even blink. He simply sat there, staring into the unraveling. By sunrise, he had hired a lawyer, Miranda Holt, sharp as broken glass and calm as stone. She listened without flinching, her eyes slicing through the facts. Bring me everything, she said. And Adrien did. The photo, the message, financial documents, passwords, transaction histories, shared accounts, every single detail. That same day, Miranda began sealing every crack in the wall. Elena's credit cards were frozen. Her access revoked. Adrienne changed every password, revoked every permission. Not out of revenge but survival. Elena had made her decision. He was merely responding in kind. Within 48 hours, a letter arrived. Elena's lawyer Derek Vance, all tailored arrogance and hollow demands. He accused Adrienne of financial cruelty, demanded he restore support, painted Elena as a helpless woman tossed aside. Miranda's reply was ruthless. She attached Elena's divorce message, her own words, then included a breakdown of the financial safeguards Adrienne had implemented in response. The tone was clear. You walked out. Now face the consequences. Still, Elena's side pushed their story. Poor Elena. Abandoned, misunderstood. Friends whispered. Family tiptoed around him. Sympathy swayed. Adrienne said nothing. The truth doesn't need to argue. And then Miranda found it. A nearly forgotten joint account neglected for years, yet quietly holding a small fortune. Elena had tried to drain it. Almost succeeded. A few more hours, and it would have been gone. It wasn't desperation. It was strategy. The divorce turned cold and brutal. Elena's lawyer claimed Adrienne had emotionally checked out, that his silence had driven her into another man's arms. But Miranda laid out a trail of betrayal, lies, and theft with precision. Her messages, her movements, her manipulations. The courtroom listened. So did the judge. But Elena wasn't finished. The shadows deepened. Anonymous complaints were filed at Adrienne's workplace, whispers of misconduct. Partnership deals quietly dropped. Reputation corroded overnight. Still, Adrienne didn't panic. He worked with Miranda, launched an internal audit, compiled statements, cleared every accusation with surgical precision. It didn't take long to trace the sabotage back to its source. Elena, not content with taking his heart, she had tried to dismantle his life. At the final hearing, she cried, mascara streaked, voice trembling. She accused Adrienne of being cold, distant, unloving. Miranda stood. She read Elena's message aloud. I'm seeking a divorce. All future contact will be through lawyers. Then came the evidence, her theft attempt, her infidelity, and the calculated efforts to destroy Adrienne's career. The judge listened, then ruled. Adrienne retained full ownership of the business he had built before the marriage. Alimony was slashed to a bare minimum, a penalty levied for hiding her illicit property purchase. Elena was left with the weight of her own choices. She exited the courtroom alone, head low, defeated. And then came the final twist. Over drinks, a mutual acquaintance filled in the blanks. The man Elena had kissed that night, Marcus Vane, a ruthless financial predator known for targeting married women in wealthy partnerships. He sent the message, orchestrated the scene, played Elena like a violin, believed Adrienne would crumble, making room for his conquest. But Adrienne didn't crumble. And when the plan unraveled, when Elena walked away with nothing, Marcus vanished. No calls, no trace, just smoke. Adrienne didn't chase after him, didn't gloat. He rebuilt, steady, stoic, stronger. The man who once believed in forever had learned that truth comes dressed in shadows. And it doesn't always save. Sometimes it razes everything to the ground so something real can grow from the ashes. He hadn't lost everything. He had shed the illusion and found himself on the other side.